Cascade Trekker here in Poland. I'm planning a bicycle backpacking trip. The plan is to bike down to this lake and follow the feeder creek up to its source, which is somewhere in here. It's about 50 kilometers one way. These are my riding companions.
The skateboarder and the fat guy.
Good morning.
A little bit of downhill.
We've been riding about 2 hours, maybe 3, and my ass really hurts. There's a lot of weight on this seat, and it's pretty sore. I might bail out soon. Section of forest where the creek runs right next to it. That creek is going to be really important for me. Right now the creek is over on the right. Can't see it, it's in the trees, I think. Hey, watch out! Maybe it's right down here. Yeah. Is it? I think so. A very pleasant ride. We're maybe 25 miles south of Lublin, and very little traffic on these back roads. The weather's perfect.
This trip is a pain in the ass.
Well, I just broke away from my friends not that long after filming on the bikes, but I had to stop for this. This is the best water I have seen in a long time. I mean, last year in the mountains I saw some pretty good water, but this just springs right from this hillside over here. This is the road I was biking on. There's a trail here. Let's see where this goes. And here is, this is the main creek or river that's feeding the Zolif down by southern Lublin. It's a little dirty, but not too bad. I would filter this if I had to, and I just might tomorrow or the next day. Here I am at the spring. It's right here, and filtering my water. I use 2 of these platypus collapsible bags. They've always worked well for me. You have to be careful that you don't pop them when you're filling it up. One of these will last me maybe 2 years if I'm really careful with it. It's great, of course, because you can just fold it right up as it's being emptied. And I use this is an MSR water filter from the United States, and I've got my collector under a small rock here. These filters are notorious for breaking. I broke 2 in one season a couple years ago because this part here is plastic, and it just snaps sometimes when you're pumping too hard and your filter's dirty. So I self-educated myself and I clean that filter. I carry a brush now and clean it, so it's nice and smooth. Let's see if we can get a picture here. Goes pretty darn quick. Finding this water is the best thing that happened to me all day. I'll probably come back here and stock up. Definitely hit it on the way home. Well, here I am, somewhat away from civilization. I can hear the road. I heard a car. It's 50 yards, 100 yards this way. I followed a dirt track down, and this is like a sand pit. So I'm looking for a place to camp. It would be nice to be in the open. We've got a bunch of animal tracks. I don't know what. I saw some small deer tracks. No real signs of people. You can see that people have come up here with their... There's a footprint here. People print. Not that old. So I'm trying to just get some peace and solitude. It would be nice to camp someplace close. Oh, this looks nice. Someplace close to this clearing to get, some nice peaceful views. We've got a full moon tomorrow. It's gonna be darn close. Yeah, this looks real nice. It's flat. This bivy tent I have is just a little sliver. I smell... Something smells like it's dead, like an animal. Oh yeah, this is nice too. If I can squeeze in up here, I might do it. This might be nice. It's dry. We'll see. I like these pine trees. I saw a big cluster back in here. There's, farms and houses and things around. I hear dogs barking and chickens. It's like an urban Cascade trekker adventure. Well, in 15 or 20 minutes, I got the tent set up back here. It's well camouflaged. I'm really happy. Very nice here. It'll be always a special thing at night to hear the wind blowing through these trees and making the leaves rustle. There it is. Sad little bivvy. I was thinking of selling it, but man, it's so nice. Nice and light and just perfect. I can't wait to get in there in a few minutes and lay down, maybe rest, sleep, get away from the bugs. They sure came out, these mosquitoes. And out in the open, there's the biting flies. Got the bike locked up here. This is the view from inside my tent, and I've been just chilling here for 3 hours. I haven't wanted to put the rain fly on because it would destroy this just fabulous view. Would make me feel closed in, away from the environment. That's my crazy setup. But this thing here, it just keeps me from going insane. This bug net. And if you see now inside the tent, it looks all dark and it's like a coffin when you get this fly. And this extra tarp covers the back end and covers the backpack. And this tent is now waterproof. I had a bad experience last time with it. I'm thinking of going down here to do some snooping around in the forest. I can see there's the animal trail right through here. But I'm a little concerned about running into somebody because I hear people over this way. I hear a dog over here, but I haven't really heard anything over this way, so maybe we'll angle down off to the left. There's a well-worn animal path here, and there's a really big footprint there. Boy, what the heck is that? Maybe a deer, and it slid in this mud, but I think what they do is they mound up or dig down into this mud to create drinking holes. It's not really fun down here. These bugs are crazy. Morning has come. Quite pleasant last night. The breeze stopped. It was very still. I had to wear earplugs. The dogs were barking from every direction. The mosquitoes got really heavy last night. Okay, let's start the day. I was out here yesterday. I was just sitting on the mound, looking at the surroundings, and after a while I was thinking, well, you know, I never really walked down this way. And I was thinking, well, maybe it connects to a road and that this is not the only way in. And sure enough, there's a small farm back here. And I decided to go back into my little hiding area, and within minutes there were two guys out here. I could hear them talking, and I was back here getting ready for dinner, and I said to myself, that was a close call, because I'm on private property and I don't speak the language here, and who knows what might happen. But this mosquito net is really a great camouflage for the tent. You can see the blue tarp, but in front here, which was the main part of the tent that you could see, well, it's camouflaged very well with this mosquito net. One thing that always gets me with these reality shows, survivor shows, is they never really talk about where they do their business, how they do their business, their bodily function. You know, you gotta go. How do you do it? Where do you do it? What I generally do is I look for a place in the forest on the floor where this is a good example. You can see there's some dirt and it looks a little loose. You look for some loose area so that you can dig a shallow hole. And many times if you're near some pine trees, you can find some duff, a very thick coating of the pine needles, and it's very loose. Not the case here. This you can even feel with your foot. This is not bad. It pushes down a little bit. And this was disturbed here by an animal. And this is quite loose. So I just take my heel. Yeah, this is really good. And that's where I'm gonna do my number 2, if I had to, but I already did it. It's like the first thing I do, and I sometimes barely get out of that tent. And so, business done. You can even, if you have to urinate on top of it to help break it down. Urinate on the paper. If it's white paper, that's going to really show over time if it's not buried. Just kind of start to, if you got to pee, just urinate right on top of it, and it'll help break it down. And just cover it up. Cover it up as well as you can. Make it look natural, like nothing ever happened. That was Kurt Kraft 101. My favorite part of the day, coffee time. Now that's hitting the spot. Got some cherries for breakfast. Hand-picked personally. And oatmeal. Not sure what the plan is for today. Actually, I'm just enjoying being here. So I have the factor of water availability to think of. I've got the factor of my energy to bicycle. I I think I'll start out and continue tracing the creek that feeds the Zalif. Go to the beginning and see if there's some decent water to get there, and decide from there. We'll see how I fare on this bicycle today. My goal will be to eat some of these heavier things like the cherries, maybe an apple, just to lower the weight of the pack. It's been a little hit or miss today. It's been a few hours now on the bike, and I think the forest that I want to be in is over here. I believe that this road, there will be an intersection and a road going through the middle of this forest. That's what I hope. I was on the other side of this forest, and I was following the creek, the feeder creek to the lake that we've been following all along, and it eventually dried up, and I sort of got lost. And the problem is the roads don't have any names here, and there aren't really good directions. The map I have is a regional map, so it's not very precise. And so what you get is occasionally a road sign telling you that you're entering a city and that you're leaving a city. Okay, and sometimes you'll get a road sign at an intersection saying X amount of kilometers to this city. So that's basically the only way I've been able to navigate, and it's not a problem because you know, it's just really a great trip just to, you know, meander around on these country roads. I'm not lost yet. Water was an issue today. I stopped in a small hamlet and asked for some water. It took a few times, but the third time, I think it was a school, these ladies helped me. So I'm loaded with water for tonight and tomorrow, and I've been carrying that for like an hour. So it's getting a little heavy, a little tired, and I'm hoping this forest is my destination. Here we are in the thick of that forest, minutes from the last film segment. I took a tractor trail that went straight to the woods, maybe 500 meters or so, and I think I'm going to set a tent right here and put the bug screen on this branch here. I'm really surprised there's bugs in here because there's no real water source up here, maybe just from rain. We've got some mosquitoes, and the biting flies were on the edge of the forest. Still not sure what to expect about contact here with people. We'll see. Nice big trees. This one's got to be 200 to 300 years old. Nice big pine tree. I came to this clumping of big trees because I figured there would be sort of an open canopy floor, whereas along the edge it was pretty thick with berries. As I was deciding to come down this tractor trail, I saw a small cat. It looked almost like a house cat, but it didn't have a tail. And I wasn't sure if it was a bobcat I didn't get a chance really to see its head or ears to see if they were like had pointed hair. But there were no houses around. It's very interesting because I was stopped and it was just sitting right next to the road and didn't move until I moved towards it. Also, I might be camping below this Widowmaker. I heard some like thuds, and I realized that there are branches hitting each other with the wind. Most likely the wind will die down tonight, like last night. It's a better view than yesterday, and so when I get my tent set up, many times I'll toss the sleeping bag in here. It'll make a perfect backrest for a chill away from the mosquitoes. Very nice, very nice. Just on a short jaunt through the forest, and the bugs are pretty bad. This is why I'm layered up in the middle of the summer like this. Even keep my hands inside of the coat. But here's one of the farmer's fields here of wheat. There's been some logging in here, like maybe last year, but just like one tree at a time. And like you can see here, this was all disturbed by an animal. My track is here. This is what I was following. You can see the line here. I saw some broken fern leaves. May have been by a human. I think maybe me, but I don't know. So I've been trying to take care with my footfalls so as not to leave a mark like here. This is the fern that was broken right here, and that was not done by me. It was a little longer ago. Here's my site. I could have hidden it a little more. Like back in here, there's some really thick trees and shrubs, but I'm just gonna go with this. I wanted to experience this open area here with these larger trees and to be able to look up. Dinner time is here, and this is what my dinners are looking like. We've got the produce, the onions, potatoes, and beets with the ramen packet, and also there are split peas and kasha. It's very steamy. But it's quite filling. It's just lacking a little salt. I didn't pack any extra salt. Usually I do. And same with the breakfast. It's lacking sugar, this oatmeal. Tomorrow I might put an apple in with it. Sweeten it up a bit. But I've just been pretty much hanging in the tent here because the bugs are pretty ferocious, as I've said many times. I'm seeing some birds fly by and hearing some odd noises here in the forest. It's quite interesting. Very calm and peaceful here. Well, we had some ravens up in here. You can hear them flying away, and their eyesight is so precise. He saw me squat down. He's somewhere up in here. But this is my masterpiece, because I didn't plan for any trees or anything when I selected this location. I again need to have this tarp set up for the back end of this tent, because the rain will just pretty much flood it. And also my backpack goes under there. But what I had to do was tie this tree, which is almost dead, lying on the ground. I tied it to this limb to get a little height on this corner. And this is the high corner, and I've staked this corner, and this is a reach to another dead limb that just about broke. But if it rains, the water's just going to go down off the bottom, unless it pools here, and it might seep through. I hope not. If that's the case, you know, I could even use a stick to prop it up. But I don't think it's going to rain. The wind has stopped, and it's humid. It's hot. I can't wait to get back in this tent. Even though it's going to be warm, I just hope the night cools off. There he is! This guy was chewing on the bottom of my tent all last night, and I think there were 3 or so under here. He's a big one. I'm glad I didn't squash him. Very strange night because it was so hot and muggy to begin with. I was sweating in the sleeping bag. Then in the middle of the night it was cold, quite chilly, very strange. And I had these like vertigo sensations when I was laying on my back. It felt like I was falling backwards. Ugh. Pretty rough night. Come on out of there, big guy. Back out into civilization and able to have shorts and no jacket and scarf. just right in there is bug chaos. That's where I was this morning. So I haven't really filmed much of my journey through the villages and cities. They're very interesting, and I'm going to try to do that today. But it's really tricky with, you know, the bike and the bag and getting the camera out and stopping, taking the pack off, the whole deal. So I'm going to try to somehow carry the camera while I bike, which, you know, I'm taking a risk of damaging the camera, but we'll see. Also, my food supply is running short. I have enough for 2 dinners, but the question is lunches and snacks today, lunches and snacks tomorrow, and a snack to get home, the final leg. It's going to be really close. I might have to hit up some of these berry patches. And there's actually some right here, which I'm gonna hit right now. I came here last night, and there's the beginning of the village, but I think nobody cares much about these berries anymore. These probably are a little dirty. I see some foot, there's like a path. But here, let's see. They're doable, but I don't think they're quite ripe. Very meaty berries. And I've seen these growing everywhere. Maybe next time. Bitter and kind of meaty, like almost leathery. But these are the same berries that are over here, I think. There's a whole lot of agriculture going on here. You don't see like cow farms, dairy farms and things like that. You see just agriculture everywhere. It's great. This is the forest that I camped in last night. If I'm getting a good shot of it, yeah, back in there. You can see these forests way over here. And then in the far distance, this one. That just might be my destination for the day. But I'm going in this direction in search of a water source, which I'm not sure about. Actually, my water usage has been quite low, maybe 2 liters a day or more. It's not very much. this forest just might very well be my intended destination, but I haven't been on the bike for maybe more than an hour, hour and a half, and it's nice to be away from all these blood-sucking mosquitoes and flies. Out here in the open, you don't have them as much. So I'm also getting a little concerned about the weather. I'm still within like a 5 to 6 hour, maybe 7 hour ride back to Lublin, and if it starts raining, things will get pretty dismal. I don't really have serious rain gear. It's almost terminal velocity. My hat's about to blow off. Pretty nice day. I'm chilling in Batoros, and I just came from over here, this exciting downhill bicycle ride, and just came through this alleyway, I guess, to the football field. And now the big question of the day is there a water supply just at the end of this field? Because if it's all mucky and nasty, I'm not gonna do it, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna turn back and hit that really nice spring where I filmed earlier, and I'll get some water there. And there's a forest just past that water stop. But I'm just sitting here chilling. It's quite nice. Nobody's around. And if there is some water here, well then I'm gonna find someplace up in this forest here to camp. There's a big industrial site up the side of this hill. Almost looks like a landfill or something, I don't know. But I'll need to get far away from that. My guess is I'll maybe try and follow a road this way towards the forest. I'll let you know how things go. There it is. It's not horribly bad as I thought it might be. It's not moving very quickly, but it's not horribly murky, which is a good sign. I don't know if I'm feeling staying here though. If this is where I was at a few minutes ago, but there's some development right here. There's gonna be a road, I guess, and I don't have a really good map, and I'm still concerned about the weather. But if I decide to stay, I'll get this water. I might follow it a little farther up, because just up in here there's some houses, and most likely there's some sewage drainage into this water, which I don't want to be near. But the map indicates that this water just starts a little farther up and it flows this way. Guess I'm happy to find it. I'm waiting on some information about the weather. Well, I've got a weather update. It's not going to rain tomorrow, but it will rain the next day. And so this gives me a change of plans. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to start back, and tomorrow will be the final leg home. You know, chances are, I've seen these weather reports vacillate so much. Originally it showed rain tomorrow afternoon, and so now that it's offset to Thursday, I'm gonna head back. I found this water. It's good to know it's here, because you know, as a current urban adventurer, a freshwater supply is keen. So, you know, here we go. We're gonna start back, and I did reach my destination, so I'm not unhappy. And also, this food supply will be a little better. It's been quite windy today. It's really slowing me down. It's blowing right in my face, and I'm glad I'm heading back today, because if I would have had to push hard all the way to get back, it would have just beat me up. So pretty mellow. In maybe another hour I'll be back at that spring. Well, here I am, kind of hiding in a farmer's field. I got my water stocked up, and I went to see this small patch of forest to camp in, and it's all open and there's trails, and I saw some guy in there picking mushrooms, and so I left, went farther up the dirt road to look in some of these, you know, groupings of trees for a place to camp. And like, there's a tractor trail right through the middle of that. And it would just be real spooky if someone came through there and I had my tent. You know, I can see some forests way over there. And if there was a straight road going right to them, I would do it. But I have to do some serious backtracking, go down a kind of a highway. I just want to set my tent up and chill out right now. And now I hear, in the direction that I came from, somebody's weed whacking. And I think it was a private road. There's the continuing road down here. So that's my story. And the skies are getting thicker with clouds. I have the feeling it might rain tonight. Well, I just said, screw it. I dropped the tent in a really tight place. We've got nettles here. I'm all stung up. I had to climb through thorns and stuff to get here, and some really low branches, but the tent just barely fit. I didn't go more than 5 feet from the last time I videotaped, but I don't think anybody will see through this. And there's a huge wheat field. I don't think anybody's gonna come up here tonight. Yeah. There's no bugs, hardly any bugs here, so I don't have to deal with the screen. And I'll tell you what happens if it happens. Right back in there. That's where I camped last night, and let me tell you, it was just crazy. I'm 95% done with getting out of here without being in trouble, but just past these trees here, there's a road, and I swear, I thought they saw me in this little grouping here of trees and weeds. So I was up at 4:15 to get packed, and now I have to go up this little road right past the front of their house, and then I'm done. And thank God none of these dogs were off leash, because they heard me a couple times. I don't know how. And I'm going home. It's a little after 7. I've been going hard. I'm now at the southern edge of Lublin and the lake, and it's about an hour left to get back. There's some nice forest here. Some pretty big trees left. I just might plan next time to explore some of these forests here, because it's close and quite extensive. It's a good choice to come home today because it's chilly, overcast, and when you stop, the cold kind of sets in if you're sweaty. Alright, this was a great trip, probably close to 200 kilometers, maybe 75 miles. Yeah.